Hi, Gemini. Welcome to your 2026 overview where we discuss what you can actually look forward to or anticipate in the year 2026. If this is your first time joining this platform, my name is Nika, aka Astrologyslore. We're going to go ahead and just dive in. As of the time that we are filming this, which is December 28th, 2025, there is a full wolf moon that is coming on January 3rd of 2026. Mercury is currently in Sagittarius. Jupiter and Uranus are both still retrograde. And then we still have Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. Venus is in Capricorn, which is also conjunct of Juno. This is bringing a lot of positive energy for relationships, but it's also bringing up some very realistic energy that's been buried, certain resentments and things that are resurfacing. And this energy is bringing us into the new year. So there's a lot of intensity here. There's a lot of daydreaming and illusions with that Neptune in Pisces, which is also sort of marrying with Mars in Capricorn, Sun and Capricorn, as well as Venus. So let's see how all of this is being manifested for you, Gemini. I'm going to go ahead and spray my hands, keep them moist. It's difficult to shuffle in the winter with the moisture in the air being so dry, but let's go. Spirit, what is coming through for Gemini placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for 2026? Ooh, that was quick. All right, so we have the Hermit card as the main energy of the reading. Now, this is very interesting, Gemini. This seems to be very introspective. This is Virgo energy, which the reason why that's so notable is because you do share a ruling planet with Virgo, which is Mercury. So this Hermit energy is very mercurial and in the sense of like self-reflection, isolation. There's a bit of contemplative energy here, very deep contemplation for the year 2026. So I see a lot of you Geminis sort of being to yourself in 2026. This is a very introspective year. And what's so crazy again about this is that you are ruled by Mercury, which is the planet of communication. At the time of this reading, Mercury is in Sagittarius, which is your sister sign. So I do think it's really interesting that you're presenting as the Hermit, because it just sort of indicates that a lot of you guys are really doing a lot of thinking, meditation, contemplation, and introspection, but you're not necessarily talking. You're not necessarily communicating with others as much so as communicating with your spiritual team. So I find that to be very interesting, Gemini. Let's go further into your reading and let's see how this is further manifesting throughout 2026. All right, so we have the Six of Swords, the Empress, the Ace of Wands, and we have the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, very good. Very good. All right, so excuse me, Gemini. There is a lot of forward movement and motion in 2026 for a lot of you coming across this message. And I happen to feel like this energy is very divine. Something is moving forward for you. So one thing that I do find interesting is that I do believe that Aries and even Taurus might have gotten the Six of Swords energy, which does indicate that you're leaving some sort of chaos, drama, or energy behind. You know, this is the energy of you moving forward. And I do want to put these together because if we look at the Ace of Wands, this does look like the number 1. And the reason that is so significant is because 2026 is literally a 1 year. Once we break down the number 10, we get the number 1, which is a number of new beginnings and a fresh start. So some of you Geminis, you could be moving in 2026, or you could be implementing some of those ideas that you might have had from 2025. Even if you look at the swords imagery here, you see the swords look like the number one. It's upright. There's 6 of them, of course, but the number 1 is very significant. If you look at the Hermit card, and if you look and closely examine what that appears to be, some sort of a staff or a stick that the Hermit is actually holding, what does it look like? The number 1. So I happen to feel like this is really not a coincidence. When I do readings, I like to look very deep beyond just the meaning of the cards. And I'm just getting a very strong feeling for a lot of you Geminis that you're giving birth to a new beginning. We have some Taurus Libra energy. We have some Venus energy here with the Empress card. We will also clarify this energy, but some of you Geminis, you're creating something. Okay, there's a new start here, and it's bringing a lot of abundance. Some of you could be starting a family with somebody. I don't know why I'm hearing that. You know, the Empress is a fertility card. It doesn't literally have to mean that. I don't do pregnancy readings, but Gemini, this energy is very, very significant. I cannot wait to really dive into this on a deeper level and see what this really truly means. So let's go ahead without further ado. Let's go ahead and first clarify that Hermit card. We have the 3 of Cups. Yeah, so whatever introspective energy this is, whatever introspection this is, Gemini, I do happen to feel like it's bringing forth some sort of achievement or some sort of celebration energy. I feel like you're going to be able to really come out of whatever this is successfully. You know, for whatever reason, that Hermit card is not giving me sadness. It's giving me the energy of you maybe keeping certain things to yourself in 2026. You have a lot of amazing blessings. You have financial blessings. You're giving birth to something new. You could be moving. You have ideas that you're executing. There's a lot of motion that is happening in your life in 2026, Gemini. And what I'm seeing with that Hermit energy, the 3 of Cups, you know, to me, this is also manifesting as you needing to sort of keep certain things to yourself, you know, and I hate to say that because I don't want you to feel like you have to kind of keep things away from your friends and family. But I feel like when it comes to people and like social circles and groups, you really are making certain distinctions here. Okay, you really are distinguishing yourself from certain people. And I don't think that this is something that you're just purposely doing because you're better than or anything like that. You know, this Hermit card, again, this is a very conscious energy. I was going to say spiritual energy, but it's deeper than spirituality. This is consciousness. You know, this is something that's consciously happening with you, Gemini, where you're just, you know, you're vibrating out of certain realities here. And, you know, it reminds me of a video that I seen some years back with Princess Nokia, who I'm not sure what her astrological makeup is or what her sign is, but she said that it's going to come a point in time where you're not even going to relate to people. And basically she was talking to, you know, certain people who were tapping into their journeys. That's what this reminds me of, Gemini, is, you know, it's the energy of you vibrating out of certain realities, moving forward from chaos. It could be that you're really distancing yourself from certain things and everybody just can't go. We have the King of Cups energy. Yeah, so like a lot of you Geminis are really trusting your intuition. You're really tapping in with yourself emotionally here. And, you know, you're doing things for your peace at this point. You know, you're leaving behind certain situations for your peace of mind. We have the Chariot on top of the Empress. We have the 5 of Swords. We have the Magician. You know, we have a lot of major arcana out on the table, which does indicate to me that there is something very significant that's taking place in 2026. We have Virgo energy. We have Taurus, Libra, Cancer, and then we have Gemini energy, which is you know, the Magician here. So you're definitely birthing a new beginning. You're definitely bringing some new energy to the light, to the forefront. And you're shifting out of certain realities. And I mean, this energy is amazing, Gemini. I also happen to feel like if you've been dealing with any sort of conflict energy with others, I feel like you're even moving away from that. Okay. I feel like, the Five of Swords energy, this is about you dealing with certain egotistical people, different egos at play here. If someone's cross watching for Gemini, maybe Gemini is acting this way. I mean, apply where it fits. But Gemini, I definitely see where your desire to have a fresh start supersedes any sort of need to win an argument at this point. I see a new beginning happening here, Gemini. I see a new beginning, and I feel like, again, there's a lot of motion and play that is happening in your life in 2026. A lot of forward motion and a lot of this energy of you really keeping to yourself. So let's pull some advice to see what you can do in 2026 to really guard your energy here. And we're going to use the Chakra Wisdom cards. Let's have a look here. We're going to get all of these. I'll just vaguely summarize. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the ring light, but we have the sacral chakra, the root chakra, solar plexus, and heart. So let's break all of this advice down. The sacral chakra, this definitely resonates. And the reason why is because creative manifestation is taking place in your life, most definitely. And this is basically saying, you have the ability to manifest and create positive outcomes in your life. It is a time for you to manifest what you need. I ask myself, what do I need? I'm optimistic and creative in carrying out all of the tasks that come my way, even seemingly mundane ones, and I maintain a positive attitude in all I do. I'm open to receive and I'm deserving. See, Gemini, the reason that this energy is so on point and so on brand is because we literally have the manifestation card right here, which is just, could that be any more perfect? The fact that this came out as part of your advice as telling you, you just have to get really intentional about what it is that you want, because you have the ability to make it happen. I'm actually going to sit this over here on top of the Magician card. And then we have 3 more pieces of advice that came out. So your root chakra is talking about having courage and faith, feeling the fear and doing it anyways. I think that's regarding whatever move this is. Gemini, whether this is a physical move that's happening or a figurative move, you are being encouraged through this energy right here to have faith, and to feel the fear, embrace that courage and adaptability. All of this is needed to overcome your fear of change or of the future. But there are things that are happening in your reality, and it's very positive energy. We have solar plexus, which is talking about self-discipline in this instance. So this is, I'm making a lot of references. I'm getting a lot of downloads in your reading, Gemini. But what I'm primarily hearing right now is this self-discipline card is related to just really building that discipline to do what needs to be done to accomplish whatever needs to be accomplished. I've heard it said that we should seek to have discipline over motivation, because motivation is not always going to keep us going, but self-discipline will. And then the last part of the advice taken from the heart chakra is talking about acceptance of self. So you want to make sure you accept your life as it is now. You want to make sure that you can move forward from here, and all of this is very pivotal to your journey. Creative manifestation, courage and faith, adaptability, self-discipline, and acceptance of self. The heart chakra is very much, this is about connecting and rejuvenating with yourself. Make sure that you're kind to yourself in 2026, Gemini. There's a lot of amazing energy that is at play for you, okay? So if you made it to the end of this video, I'm sending a lot of love your way, and I want to thank you for watching this video all the way through. Please be sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if the messages were on point for you. At the time of this reading, my year ahead readings are on sale, half off. I will put the link in my description box if you're interested in booking that. That will be a one-on-one reading with me via Zoom. So until next time, Gemini, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.